welcome to The Gist with Mo45673. The Gates of Loyang is a game from Uwe Rosenberg of Agricola fame, and basically it's the planting aspect of Agricola just expanded greatly into a phenomenal game. I'm going to focus on this as a solo game. The multiplayer game is actually pretty much multiplayer solitaire, only the multiplayer game has this semi-bluffing phase with the card phase, whereas in the solo game it's replaced by a card queue that you use money to get cards out of, which works very well. The point of the game is to get your little guy here all the way up, as high up as you can get him. Now you might think it's just a game where you try to beat your own score, try to score the highest points or whatever, but actually the game is so well balanced that the rules actually say if you get 17, you're considered a competent player pretty much, 18, you're a very good player, and 19, you're a master. It doesn't say anything about 20, and so implicitly it says that if you get 16 or lower, you lose. So trying to get to 17 is actually difficult. Now the money in this game is the main thing you're trying to do. No matter where your guy is on the track, let's say he's here, it's $1 to get to the next space, and then every space after that is its face value. So at the end of your turn, you pay money, and here you would pay $7 to move 2 spaces, $1 for that and 6 for that. Or you could pay $14, $1 plus 6 plus 7 to move 3 spaces. However, let's say you move 2 spaces, up to 6, and on the next turn it would only cost you again $1 to get to 7, and then $8 to get to 8 to move 2 spaces, etc. So moving 1 space is pretty easy. Moving 2 spaces is a little bit more difficult, and the higher up the track you go, the more money you need to have to move 2 spaces, right? If you're at 13, then you need $1 to move to 14, and $16 to move the 2 spaces to 50. So by the end of the game, you better hope you're getting good money. Ideally, you want to move up a lot in the beginning, but at the beginning you don't have a lot of money to start with. Additionally, at any point in the game, you can take a loan. A loan will give you $5. However, for each loan you take in the game, at the end of the game, your scoring markers move back 1 space. You can never repay the loan. So taking a loan is risky, but sometimes you have no money and you have to pay money for some reason. And there you go. This is how the game starts off. Basically, over here you have a cart. The cart can hold as many things as you need, but at the end of your turn, you can only hold 1 vegetable in the cart. Anything else has to be discarded. If you pay $2, you can flip the card. There we go. And then, you can hold up the 4 things at the end of your turn. I rarely ever do that. This is a shop. Basically, you can spend $3 to get a wheat, but if you sell back to the shop and there has to be an open space to sell back to it, you get $1 for it. And as you can see, each vegetable gets more expensive. You got wheat, pumpkin, turnip, radish, beans, and leeks. Over here you have your home field. You can see that because there's a picture of a home. And each round you're going to reveal a new field like this. Oops, like that. Now, the home field is special. The home field at the beginning of the game, you're going to buy 1 vegetable, and then you can see at the top, this is what you're allowed to plant in it. So, you buy 1 vegetable, either a wheat, a pumpkin, or a turnip, and you put it in there, right? Like, let's say you buy the wheat, so I would pay $3, blah, 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 and you put it in there, and then just like in Agricola, whenever you plant, you fill up the rest of the spaces. So there we go, I filled that up. If you look a little higher, you can see I've revealed the 4 types of field cards you can get. You can get this one, which can hold wheat, pumpkin or turnip. And then for each for each less space on it, you can put in another vegetable. Leeks can only be put in these 3 ones. So basically, you're going to have 2 of each of these. You're going to shuffle them, so in 2 sides. So you take these 4, you shuffle them, you put them down, then you take the other 4 of one of each of these. So the other 4, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 1, shuffle them as well, and put them on top of your first pile. So you have a pile here of 8 cards. Each round, you're going to harvest 1 vegetable from the bottom, from each field that has a vegetable in it. You're going to harvest them into there. And then after you harvest, you're going to reveal a new field, right? And let's say this field had beans. So then, and you do the harvest phase, so you take 1 from each field, put it there, right? And then you flip over a new card. And that allows me to plant any of the vegetables. The game goes on until this card, your home card, is emptied, at which point you play 1 final round. After the harvest phase comes the card phase. Whether you're playing the multiplayer game or the solo game, you can only take 2 cards. These cards have this back, as opposed to the other back, which is all your fields. So all these cards have this back, and there are 5 different types of cards that come like this. There are your regular customers, and you have to deliver to each of these guys each round. So they give you money. So for each round, for 4 rounds, you have to deliver a radish and a leek to this guy. Each of them are going to have a token on them. If you don't deliver to them 1 round, you're going to flip it, and then they're angry. If you don't deliver to them in all subsequent rounds, like to any angry customers, you have to pay a fine of $2. And that fine is, if you have $0, you have to pay the fine. That's when you're going to have to take a loan, pretty much. These are called market stalls. Market stalls allow you to trade any one of your vegetables for any of the ones in here. And there's only 1, so like when you take it, it's gone. The leek, though, in this one, you need to trade any 2 vegetables, and then you can take the leek. That's how that works. The helpers are pretty much cards that just allow you to break the rules somehow. These are just like any other field. They go at the top of your board, but to take it, you have to pay $2. And these are called casual customers. Casual customers, you can have them as long as you want. You don't have to give them the food ever if you don't want to. But if you do, they give a nice one-time payout. As you can see, there is a good amount of these cards in the game. And most of them are different. Like here's another regular customer, wants 2 wheat, but and wheat is easier to get in the game, but we'll pay you less each time. After you do the card phase, you're got to do the action phase. On the action phase, you can do all these actions. You can do as many of them as you want, except for the second last one called Buy 1 2-pack. But aside from that, you can do any of them in any order, as many as you want. And then at the end, you're going to store vegetables, so you can have more than 1 over there. And you're going to move the scoring marker by paying money, as explained earlier in the video. So I'll just go through a few of these and show you how it works. All right, so basically I took those cards and I placed them where they go based off their icon, right? And you could have multiple of these customers and multiple of these and multiple of these, multiple of those. So also up here I have $7. So basically I gotta feed this guy, I gotta sell to this guy a radish and a leek. I have a wheat and a bean. So how am I going to do this? Well, I have a radish and a leek there, but I don't have 3 vegetables I need to trade. So what can I do? Well, I can spend 3. So I'll take this, I'll take 2 back, and I can buy 1 from here, right? And that would be buying from the market action. And then I have enough vegetables here to trade. It doesn't matter which one I trade for which. So, 2 vegetables for that and 1 for that. So I'm going to take these guys, throw them back in the supply, these guys, and I'm going to take these 2 guys. Okay. Now I'm going to plant this guy. So I plant him there. Now for the next 3 turns, I'm guaranteed 1 leek. Right? Now I don't have anywhere to plant that radish, but I could leave it for next round. However, I did not deliver to this guy, so he becomes angry. And now, actually, one thing I could do is I could play this card, which says, return all vegetables from one of your fields that contains at least 2 vegetables to the supply. Right? So if I use this, then I discard it. And then basically I can do this, move those, and now I can plant this. There we go. So beans are actually worth more than radishes, but in a time like this, blah, 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 okay, everyone's happy except him. Yeah, so that would be my turn. I could buy a 2-pack. So what that means is you buy, you pay the maximum amount of cards you have on the left side. So right now I have 1 market stall, but if I had 2 helpers, I would pay $2. If I had 3 market stalls and 2 helpers, I would pay $3. It's whichever one you have the most of. So I would pay $1, and then I'd be able to draw 2 cards, and from that orange deck, and decide if I want to keep them or not. They're both traders. Lucky me. Now, if I decide to keep them both, I would decide to keep one, and I would put the other one underneath it. And then once one of them is gone, then the other one would go where you want it to. If it was a field, it would go up there, and you would have to pay $2. So, I mean, you could keep one or both or none, but it's a risk if you pay. If you don't have anything there, then it's free, but you can only take it once per turn. At the end of the action phase, you then paid money. So I'm on the 2 space. I need $1 to move to 3 and an extra 4 to move to 4. I only have $4, so I can only move 1 space. So I take 1, move it there and there. And now let's do one more quick turn. So first you do harvest phase, blah, blah, and blah. I neglected to flip over another card, but that's part of the harvest phase. Harvest each field, then flip over a new field that can then be used in the following action phase for planting. And then you do the card phase. I'm going to skip that. Like I said, in the solo game, it's a queue of cards. You buy 2, and then cards move and new cards come out, and some are discarded, like that you didn't take. It's a typical queue. You pay money for again, and it works quite well. And then you would come back here and do the action phase however you want. I'm just going to show you how this works. I now can pay this guy, and for that I get $7. Right, and I still have a wheat left over. So I could try to somehow rearrange my finances to use it with this guy and get a nice $9 payout. But I also want to save some money at the end of each round to move. Like now, I have enough to move. I need $6 to move there and 12 to move there. But I only have that. 5, 6, 7, 8. I only have 10. I don't have the 12 needed. So I could buy another 2-pack, see what comes out. Oh, look, another market stall. Not too bad. And another market stall. However, both of them are kind of crappy because both of them require that. But now I could take them, but then for further 2-pack actions in the future would cost me, quite a bit of money. But yeah, at the end of this turn, Basically, I would pay $1 plus 5, which is 6. So I pay the $6, and I move him up to 5. And you try to do that and try to get 17 minimum, 18 once you're getting 17 quite a bit, and 19, I mean, that's really, really, really hard. And yeah, the game goes until that runs out, and that's pretty much the game. You know, if I wanted to, let's say on my turn, I could sell this to the market and get $1, which would bring me up to 11, which would actually brought me pretty close to what I need for that. So as you can see, like, there's a lot of variability. There are different market stalls. There are many different helpers. There are many different of these guys. You actually want to have more of these guys than these guys because he pays $9 if you sell to him. However, if you have more regular customers, he pays +2. But if you have more casual customers, he plays -2. So he would pay 7 if you had more casual customers than regular. He would pay 11 if you had more of these regular customers. So if I had something like this, now there are more regular customers, so he would pay me 11 for selling to him. And if there were none, he would only pay me 7. So that's pretty much the game. So after seeing all that, if you now look at the reference card here, you can see the action phase. Sow vegetables, demonstrated. Buy vegetables, demonstrated. Sell vegetables, demonstrated. Market stalls, demonstrated. Use or discard helpers, demonstrated. Deliver to regular customers, serve casual customers, buy 1 2-pack, and at the end, store vegetables and move scoring marker. So as you can see, the game's pretty simple. The game's really quick to set up. I'd say the longest part is this deck and putting the guys on there. The game is really quick to set up. It comes, look at what it comes with. Oh yeah, look at all those veggie meeples. It comes with so many, and there's something so satisfying about planting a field and then putting, like, you know, so many more on it. And that's all. It's just, the bits are great. There are tons of different cards. Look at them. And they're all different, all of them. You know, it'd be helpful if I showed them this way, but they're all different. You know, you got, there we go. That's a pretty good market stall there. This guy, you know, another casual customer pays a little more. Another one pays a little less. And yeah, and then you could buy these. Remember, each of these, they cost an extra $2 to place them. If you don't have the $2, you have to take a loan. Oh, look at this one. You could buy a 2-pack action is free. So if you have a lot of helpers or market stalls, this is a useful card. So there's, you know, there's tons of these guys, and they come out, and you know, you just have to. You have to plan ahead during the card phase. What cards am I going to buy? What's going to help me make the most money? Because you're not just making money to you know, spend it on furthering upgrading your engine, but you're trying to move your guy up the board. So you know, you can't just, like, in the beginning, like, build up this great engine and then have a lot of money, because then you'll be back here on space like number 6, only spending $1 each turn. There's only 9 rounds in the game, and all of a sudden you have to make it up to, you know, you have to make it all the way up there to 17 or 18, which is going to cost you 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12, a lot of money. So you got to keep your guy moving at least 2 spaces each turn. Maybe one turn you only move him 1 space, but the next one you have enough money to move him up 3 spaces. But you got to keep him moving. So the game is just exquisitely balanced and just a great puzzle and a lot of fun. If you enjoy Agricola, not as a solitaire game, because I don't enjoy it as a solitaire game, but if you enjoy those farming games, or you know, just your regular Euros, this one plays in 60 minutes. Set up to tear down. But it's a great multiplayer game. It's an excellent 2-player game. It's a fantastic 1-player game, and excellent bits. Just great all around. Big thumbs up from me. Give it a try. I still have yet to beat 17, trying to get to 18. But even after I got to 17, I mean, for a few games after that, I was getting like less and less points until I think my last game I finally got back up to 17 or 16, which I was happy with because I was doing so badly. So give it a run, give it a try. I think if you don't like solo games or just beat your own score, I think this game will surprise you. It surprised me. It's the only point-based game, solitaire game I own that I enjoy playing. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.